So now we move on to the last paper of the pre-lunch session of this conference. This is going to be by Swarna Latha ji. Swarna Latha ji, over to you.
Good afternoon. I'm Swarna Latha, and I'm doing a bit of research in Vedic agriculture. And the topic for today is worship of landscape, plants, trees, and animals in Hindu, Vedic, and traditional agriculture. We'll be, since there are so many traditions and so many rituals that are followed, we'll be concentrating a little bit on the traditions of the Malnad region. So, and next we'll see that behind all this traditions and rituals is worship. And worship is integral to every human being. Worship is an expression of our adoration. As children, we adored our mother. And as we grow up, we adore the nature around us. And that is expressed as a celebration and which is formalized as rituals. When we worship, we magnify the positive energy. These rituals are created in such a way through mantras and all the processes involved that the positive energy. So when this positive energy farming community, because they're very close to nature, in their environment of the farm and their houses, a lot of positive energy is created. And the result of this is the food that they produce. That becomes healthy, full of positive vibration. And the people who eat it become equally healthy and happy. So happy farmers lead to happy and productive society. And happiness in a farmers uh, comes through worship. So if we contrast this with today's situation where farmers are committing suicide, we'll find that uh, maybe one of the reasons is a lack of worship, a lack of celebration in the life, a lack of positive energy that is taking them to this extreme step. So next we will see the various rituals that are performed. Some of these are given in the ancient Shastras. One of this is the AGNIHOTRA HOMA, a very important ritual which has been mentioned in the Rig Veda. So this is performed when the sun's rays first touch the earth, wherever it is being performed, and when the last rays touch the earth. So at this time, with the use of some mantras and cow ghee, cow dung, and the timing especially, the positive energy is intensified, and you have an explosion of positive energy literally in that place. And the ash that is collected after the puja, the farmers can use it in their seed treatment. They can spray it on the plants, mix it with the water and give it to the plants. If this is done, the plants have more positive energy in them. And when we have experimented on this, we've seen that the plants grow very well. They're more greener. The leaves tend to be more greener compared to the non-Agnihotra plants. And there's been scientific studies conducted to show that these, by conducting the Agnihotra Homa, the bacteria in the environment is reduced. Microorganisms are reduced, positive energy is increased, the healing energies are increased. So after this, we next slide. So once the sun worship has been done, farmers go to the field, and before they start the plowing, they sing the Bhumi Stotra. This is sung for the Mother Earth, and it was sung by Lord Vishnu in praise of the Mother Earth, and it was found initially in the Narayana Bhashya. The Bhumi Puja is conducted standing in the northeast direction. And uh, by saying this Bhumi Stotra, singing the songs in praise of the Mother Earth, through these mantras, the ether element is being incorporated into the soil. Next, uh, once the farmer has decided to till the soil, he'll require the bulls for tilling. And these days, so much importance is being given to cows, desi cows for their A2 milk. So many people are working towards their protection. One cow can give one offspring in a year, one calf in a year maximum. But one bull can be responsible for uh, maybe tens or even hundreds of offspring. So it's very important that we protect the desi bulls. We make sure they're fed well, they're nourished well, they remain healthy and strong. So in the Krishi Parashara, an ancient book, it has been mentioned, one ritual has been mentioned. It's called the Laguda Pratipada, or the bull worship festival. Here the bulls of this is performed on the first day of the Kartika month, and the bulls are bathed well in the morning, and after that coating of turmeric and sesame oil is made for the bulls. The, the paste is applied all over their bodies, and they are decorated with the Shamalata flowers. Shamalata flowers are the Echinocarpus rutensis. This is the scientific name. These flowers are seasonally available, and they decorate these bulls, and the bulls are taken out in a procession all throughout the village. By doing this, a lot of negative energies are removed. And after this conducting this ceremony, it has been found that the moisture in the bull dung increases. And this is particularly of use to farmers, because in the Vrikshayur Veda it's mentioned that when a farmer wants to transplant saplings into his farm, he digs the pit, and the first layer of manure that he uses is bull dung. So it makes a lot of sense, because if the bull dung is able to hold a lot of moisture, then the plant sapling which is planted on top of it need not be watered so regularly, because the water is already held by the bull dung. It also reduces diseases in this bulls. It is said that the bulls are prone to about 99 diseases, which are prevented by performing this ritual. Next. And we have Shivaratri and Masik Shivaratri every month, and of course Rudrabhishekam, which can be performed at any time. So these Rudrabhishekam and any Shiva Puja, Panchamrit is offered to the Shivalingam. So in many families, when this puja is conducted, Panchamrit is used: milk, ghee, curd, sugar. These things are taken, the Panchamrit is taken, diluted with water, and taken to the fields and sprayed over there.
We have lost your voice.
Yeah, Swarnalatha ji, there seems to be some network problem. We are not able to hear you. Are you able
Now,
to see that?
now your connection went to mute. Kindly unmute.
Unmute now.
Yeah. Can you hear me
Now you are audible. Yes.
Now it is okay.
This abhisheka water and material is taken and diluted in water and sprayed onto the fields. This work is entrusted to children in most of the families. By doing this, we are giving a lot of nutrition to the soil. Anyone who has taken Panchamrit prasad, they know that it gives them some energy, some prana. The prana level is increased. So when we use this, we are giving these materials in homeopathic quantities to the soil and the plants, and it has a very nourishing effect on them. And next we will see. Okay, the Kalambana Puja. So this is performed by farmers in several villages. So in the earlier days, when most of the farmers used to be seed collectors themselves, and they used to collect seeds from their farms, they used to preserve the best of the seeds. And during this puja, everyone bought out the seed collection and they placed it in front of the deity of the village and worshipped it. And after that, all the seeds were taken and uh, planted in small fields in one location, and their growth was observed. So the whole village saw whichever lot was growing very well. They identified the farmer and took his seeds, selected his seeds, and the whole uh, community is to plant them. This way, the seed selection was done, and the whole village was able to produce the best crops. Next. Next. Next slide. Yeah. There's another very special day.
Particular
The
next slide.
yeah, the same one. Ellu Amavasya. Uh, this is a Thanksgiving festival celebrated in January. And on this day, a makeshift temple is created in the middle of a field. 5 stones are placed inside it as a symbolic of the Pandavas. They're worshipped there, and special dishes are made with the locally available grains and vegetables harvested during the season. They're cooked outdoors and consumed by the whole family and friends. Bhaji is the special dish made from grains, millets, lentils, and green leafy vegetables and chilies. Jawar roti, groundnut chutney, sun-dried chili sauce, and other dishes that go with it are made. So this is how Ellu Amavasya is celebrated in the northern parts of Karnataka. Next, we will see the Ellu Amavasya celebrated in the Malnad region. Here, we have the tradition of worshipping animals. So what is worshipped cannot be sold. This idea held good for several centuries before our country was invaded by Mughals and other invaders who brought in their own different culture. Cows and bulls were not mere farm animals, but deities to be worshipped and cared for. When farmers had excess livestock with them, they were not sold. Instead, they were exchanged through a barter system at a fair which happened on Ellu Amavasya Day. Um, Hobli and even at the Taluk level. So this way, the animals were exchanged and no animal was sold. So the sanctity of the animal was maintained. And next, Bhumi Hunnime, or the Nool Hunnime it's called, is celebrated on the full moon of the Ashwin month. Shoots of all the plants that are available in the area, which is to be cultivated for the next season. It's all collected. All the shoots and leaves are collected, and over 100 varieties. The target is to reach 100 varieties of leaves and shoots. These are collected and brought to the farm in the evening, and they're boiled in one big pot. And to that, some beef pieces, rice, ghee, or whatever necessary is added. It is made into a palya. This is spread in the farm at night. This is also taken as human consumption as prasad for breakfast. So the idea is that by spreading it, these substances in the farm at night, the night insects will eat them, and uh, and the rest is consumed by the humans. So this each plant has some nutrient, some special nutrient that is contained is again returned to the soil in this way. And another in this worship, this is in some regions again on this day when the paddy fields are ripe with the rice. Women go out and they worship stalks of these rice. They tie a Mangal Sutra to it, and they do this ritual similar to Seemantige or baby showers, as it is called, that is performed. It is considered that the soil is pregnant, the earth is pregnant, and the ritual is celebrated. It is pregnant with the fresh seeds, which will be given fruit, or the rice that will come in some time. And next, last we will see one Lakshmi Puja, which is conducted in the village of Shimoga after Deepavali in the month of Kartika. This is a time when a lot of flying insects are present in the environment. Taking advantage of this, lamps are lit in the open field. Insects are attracted towards these lights and crash into them and die right there. In the morning, when one goes there, one finds a number of dead insects lying in the fields. These decay and add nitrogen to the soil, an easy way to fertilize the soil. So we see that these are very beautiful rituals which have been made to actually make a farmer's work easy. Adding nitrogen, adding minerals through dead insects, through leaves and shoots of various plants. So this kinds of worship added beauty, added celebration, added so much joy into the hard work of farming. So when the farmers adapt these and continue to follow them, their work becomes much more easier, much more sustainable, and much more happier. Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you very much, Swarna ji. What a wonderful presentation. Actually, it made me ecstatic when you used words like soil is pregnant and the Shrimanta festival, Shrimanta celebration for the soil. Wow, what a culture. How lucky we are to be Hindus. How lucky we are to be born into this culture. Prasanna Kumar ji also is very proud to have attended your paper. Such a wonderful presentation. What a beautiful culture into which we are all born. And there are some comments, questions. Rondine Twist. I don't know what is the actual name, but maybe it is an actual name also. He says, great presentation, thank you. I would also love to receive a copy of the PDF file. And there is Bhuvaneshwari ji. This was for the Naga topic of Yogindra ji. For Yogindra ji, Rondine Twist is saying, great presentation, thank you. I would also love to receive a copy of the PDF file. And for the same paper, Meena Sundaramji, for Yogendra's paper, she's saying, at Nagarkovil, the mud of ant hill is given as prasad. And there was a question from, I think, Bhuvaneshwari ji, with regard to the Naga curse in the previous birth, Naga dosha that is talked about. Actually, my fieldwork knowledge, fieldwork based knowledge shows that most of these so-called Naga doshas are fertility related. So when a woman has fertility problems, the ethnomedical practitioner usually attributes it to Naga dosha. So what they consider to be Naga or Naga dosha probably has something very totally different from what we actually see as a physical snake. Probably this is some supernatural symbolic snake that they are talking about as a hurdle for fertility in the woman. And Swarna ji, what a wonderful paper, such a rich paper, such a rich ethnography in it, ethnography of agricultural practices. There are among the audience, there are natural farming people who are attending this conference. So all those people must be very, very happy to hear your paper. And the natural farming practices, traditional practices, and the ritual culture of Hinduism, how they go hand in hand, how they go together. You have demonstrated with your rich ethnography. We are all indebted to you for that. And all those who are going to read your paper on Indic Today magazine also will get enlightened about these things. Thank you very much. And are there any questions or comments anymore on Swarna ji's presentation? Let us just check. Megh ji among the panelists is also saying wonderful presentation, Swarna ji. And Prasanna Kumar ji has also expressed his admiration for your paper. So whole pre-lunch session was such a rich and enlightening and session. Hare Krishna Query. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such wonderful presentations. Swarna ma'am, can you please tell me about the container palaya that you have used in your slide? If not, how can we revive these traditions? Shashank Shekhar. We have such rich traditions, but are these being practiced? So there are two questions to you, Swarna ji. One is from Shashank Shekhar ji. We have such rich traditions, but are these being practiced? If not, how can we revive these traditions? Another question is, what is palaya that you have used in your slide?
So these practices have been in use since a long time, since ancient days. But now, as we see in various cultures, slowly this practice itself is going out because many people are leaving the farming profession. But these can be brought about, can again be revived. It's not just as a celebration on a particular day. If that can't be done, at least on any day it can be done. Most of these things.
There is a question about palaya.
Palya. So that is a dish. That is a dish. It's a a dry curry, we can call it palya. It's made with all the. It's a mixture and it's a dry dish.
Oh, okay, palli, right?
Palya.
Palle. Okay, so that's a local word for something similar to curry. What they say.